Hi, I'm going to talk a little bit about nodes today, and I'm using the sample max file. It's called the standing sitting by default max file, and it includes kind of the basic elements for building a simple in-view furniture item or the beginnings of a room. In this case, it has sort of a dummy mannequin avatar, a female standing and a male sitting, and the nodes that relate to that. At the center, the biggest node here is called the root node, or if you were using or building a 3D room, it would be called a skeleton node. And it's the foundation, and it's like the Papa node that all of these little nodes interrelate to and the mesh interrelates to. So this central node is up in here in the Select by Name pull down. You'll see the root node is here. You'll see that below it are all the other nodes that relate to it. And we can talk about linking later, but at the moment there is the camera, which is now invisible, is hidden, and there's the catcher, the handle, the pitcher, and the seat nodes, as well as the sort of avatar mannequins that you see in the model here. So we start with the root node with all other nodes relating to it, and then if you look underneath the standing avatar, you'll see this little node here, and its name pops up here. This one is the Ceto1.standing node, and it's the node that tells the InView client that when you click on it, that an avatar will stand on this location. Under this sitting guy right here, he has one too, and that one's called the Seat02.sitting node, and that tells the InView client that when you click on that, an avatar will sit on that location. These nodes can also be given names that respond to or call special animations that you create, but for the moment, this is just a standing and a sitting node. If you were to build a chair right here underneath him and you would want someone to sit in the chair, it's sometimes handy if the little icon that appears around this node was a little higher, like up in the seat itself. And so we've created something called a handle node. That's over here. This is the handle 2, and it's called handle 2 because it's relating to seat 2, and it lives and is connected to the root node and tells the InView client that it needs to put the little seat icon right up here, the clickable icon. And the other nodes that are in this space are there's a catcher node and a pitcher node. Now these are kind of difficult to describe, but really what they are is they don't necessarily tell the avatar where to stand when they first click there, but they tell it where to stand when you click on another avatar and choose to interact with them. So whether or not you're wrestling with them or you're hugging them or you're shaking hands, when you click on that other avatar and you tell that other avatar that you want to hug or to shake hands, you immediately will jump into either a catcher and pitcher mode. So your avatar will go on one and the other avatar will go on the other. So both the catcher and the pitcher nodes need to always be the same distance apart from each other. They can be anywhere around. So if you have an avatar sitting in a location where you want to make sure that when they hug each other, one of them's not standing in the middle of the chair, you could move them out here, but they always have to be at this distance apart. If you were to move them in any way, when you got both the two avatars together, they wouldn't match up, so that they go to shake hands or hug each other, and they wouldn't line up. They would look broken. So these guys can live anywhere around the avatar that's going to be animating, but they always must remain at the same distance. So if you look up again, up into the Select by Name pull down, you'll see there's the root node, or the skeleton node, but linked to that node is the camera, the catchers for both, and pitchers for both the standing and sitting avatars. There's that handle node that tells the client where the little button is going to appear in the 3D world so that he can sit down on the sofa or chair or whatever furniture item we decide to build. Then there's the seat nodes, and then below them at the very bottom is the actual 3D placeholder. When we go to exporting, we want to make sure that we export all these nodes, but we do not want to export the two models. So when that time comes, we'll make sure that these are not selected. Otherwise, we end up accidentally exporting the 3D models themselves. So that's a rough idea of what these guys are, and they're super important. If we were to be doing a room, you would see a lot of these little boxes, because any place in the entire room that you can move a piece of furniture, it lands on another kind of node, which is called a furniture node. And the room can be filled with hundreds of those, and that tells the client that there's a location where you can actually drop a piece of furniture. And once that furniture piece is dropped, then if there are seat nodes or standing nodes on that piece of furniture, then you will have no problem at all clicking on it and having your avatar have a seat there. So those are nodes.